hive cluster is under attack.
Live for the swarm.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, gonna be Leta versus Killer here on Polypoid. Top right, it's a pink Taran. It is gonna be Leta. And in the bottom right, it is Killer. So Leta is a pretty famous Taran player. He had a 72% win rate in StarCraft Brood War back in 2008. Like 65 and 17. 65 wins, 17 losses, and he likes to do two-port WRAITH against Zerg players. So I feel like Killer knows that, right? Because it's a pretty famous fact about Leta. So it's a TVZ here for you today. Will we see battle cruisers? Maybe we will. We're going to see a lot of Marines, some tanks, maybe a Vulture with spider mines or two, maybe some mech. For those of you who like mech versus Zerg, and there are a lot of ya. So, no proxies. No proxies here from Leta. Proxies get in the way of your two-port WRAITH build. And let's see here. An overpool, or hatch first here on this four-player map. I kind of feel like it's going to be a hatch first. Just, you know, just Falcon intuition. Terry scouting the right way. That's right, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And all of your loved ones. Watch out for Marines shooting guns at you. 12 hatch, 12 supply, and there we go. So 12 hatch opening here from Killer. I feel like Killer's weakest matchup is ZVP. So let's see how he does here in a ZVT. Against Leta. This is an RJB replay, which means it'll be super duper awesome, as they always are. Again, thank you RJB for all the replays you send me and continue to send me. Check him out at RJB TV on YouTube. Let him know that Falcon sent ya. Yeah, I guess this is going to post maybe a week after American Thanksgiving, which I had with the family. It was pretty nice. My sister who lives in Florida wasn't able to make it, and I had a sister go to Vegas with her wife, and that was pretty cool. So they weren't there, but everybody else was able to come in, family from Idaho, and it was a pretty excellent Thanksgiving, if I do say so myself. I supplied the mashed potatoes. I was very proud of that. Got some Idaho russets. Peeled them, cooked them, added milk and butter, mixed them all up, and delicious. Delicioso. Love a good mashed potato at Thanksgiving for sure. And that's why I make it. Because I'm like, well, can I count on anyone else to do it the way that I want it to be done? Maybe, but maybe not as well. They're coming in here from Killer Leta. Going one base here. So one base opening. Going to a pretty quick factory. Again, this could just be two-port WRAITH. Which I hope Killer is familiar enough with this, because if two WRAITHs show up and there's nothing to deal with it, I'm going to be pretty upset. I mean, obviously, yeah, there's probably going to be mutas. There's probably going to be some Scourge produced if he scouts the fact that there are WRAITH coming. Or, you know, a Hydralisk Den's a pretty good deal too, but this quick lair indicates it's going to be a Spire rather than a Hydra Den. Anyway, there we go. All right, man. Wikipedia was right about this guy. He sure loves his two-port WRAITH. Let's go. Terror the Overlord not moving into the base because he's pretty scared about dying. To, you know, Marines, but guess what, dude? There are Marines here. Smart choice. I guess that's not a but. That's an and situation. I did have somebody, I don't know if it was like a YouTube video I watched or some kind of a speech somebody gave, but they said use and instead of but in your sentence construction, and you'll be a more positive person. So I should have said, Terror the Overlord, watching out, and there are Marines instead of but. Anyway, so walling off here. This is Spire and a Hydralisk Den. This is an interesting little wall-off formation. All right, cool. The WRAITHs are on their way. Let's see if a control tower is going to show up here and let us know that there is going to be cloak. All right, man. So a double extractor. The extractor timing is, I don't know, pretty darn standard here. And a control tower is coming in. Hydralisk attack range is very, very nice. when there are Wraiths coming in. 4 Hydralisks on the way. We've got an Overlord here. And, okay, Wraith Micro. Again, he does 2 Port Wraith very, very often. So with Wraith Micro is excellent. All right, so Cloak is on the way here. The Spire is not quite done, but it's almost done. And the Wraith scout that and say, okay, you know, just a single Overlord here. Supply blocking killer. Good start. Good start to this TVZ. And is there a macro hatch? Macro hatch coming up? Yeah, macro hatch coming up. Because there's not an expansion here from Leta just yet. So expanding to a 3rd base against a 1-basing Taran is not a very good idea. That is something that goes without saying. Engineering bay and in the production tab for the Zerg. Got a drone snipe down. We've got Scourge on the way. Hydralisk speed. Faster Overlord movement with pneumatic carapace. And yeah, I kind of feel like Killer is in an alright position here. 26 workers to 17. The Taran does have an advantage, but it's 2 base to 1 base. So there are a lot more mineral patches available. And this is maybe not oversaturated yet. But if you keep making SCVs, it will be. And then you're going to have to go to a natural. So 2 Port Wraith with 5 Wraiths with Cloak. There are just too many Overlords there to kill. So he cloaks. A little bit of a blurry, weird effect here because the Wraiths are stacked. And there we go. Picking off another drone. So 2 drones have gone down to this Wraith Ball. And a Spore Colony. Yes, a Spore Colony for Killer here today. I do like static defense from Zerg. Yeah, another drone down. An Overlord takes a hit. Another drone down. Okay, man. This is excellent, excellent harass here. 31 workers to 23 again. The Taran is in the lead here. He's pumping Marines. He's pumping infantry weapons. Level 1 upgrade. We've got ourselves an academy coming in and still no sign of a command center. All right. This is going to be interesting. All right. So the Hydralisks have range and speed and working on missile attacks level 1. But they're not as fast as Wraiths, that's for sure. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like a Hydra Bust would do pretty well now, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so moving out with the Hydralisks. SCV says, hey, there are Hydralisks here. And the Wraiths are like, okay, what do we do? Do we try to whittle down the Hydralisk numbers? Do we try to harass? There's a Spore Colony very, very nicely located in both of the bases here. And let's see, 2 Overlords. Yeah, 2 Overlords running with this Hydralisk pack. We've got Stim on the way, but it shouldn't be done before the Hydralisks get here. So maybe pump out a tank or something. Okay, so a bunker here at the top of the ramp. And the Hydralisks say, going up a ramp into a Taran base where there is army is a very, very bad idea. I honestly would not recommend it. Maybe pick away at this barracks or something, but going up this ramp seems like a terrible concept. 3rd base is coming in here from Killer, though, so he knows what's up. He's like, well, you know what? Even if my opponent doesn't have a 2nd base, getting a 3rd base eventually is going to be fine. I'm going to have enough army to deal with it. My economy is hot right now. 31 drones. I'm working on Lurker aspect, which is going to be so good here against this Marine medic stuff that's being produced. I'm not sure he knows that, but he's probably feeling... He probably has some... I'd say some familiarity with what our guy Leta is doing here today, right? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Working on range upgrade for Marines, cool stuff. So everything for, you know, just kind of an SK Taran follow-up is real here. It's a dead SCV on the scout. Says, oh, these are +1 range speed upgraded Hydras. A Lurker's coming in. That's a good scan. He does end up seeing the fact that, oh, something just sniped. It's like, okay, let's fight these before the Lurker eggs finish. And they've got Stim now, so they do want to fight the Hydras. Oh, this is good. This is good by Leta. This is excellent play by him. Really pushing these Hydras. Oh, Lurker trapped, though. It's a lurker trap. It's a lurker trap. Come here, kill these hydras. Lurker trap! Yo! Pretty good split by Leta. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was awesome. What do we get here? 5 kills on that lurker. The other one dies. This Wraith Ball, though. Woof, this is 11 Wraiths. This is a little bit more investment into Wraith than I was expecting to see today. Third base might actually get burned down by these Wraiths. I mean, they're terrible against buildings, but do they want to go for it? Do they want to try to take this thing down? Who knows? More. Okay, these lurkers, I'm not sure. No, he knew about them. Leta knew about these lurkers. Oh, 4 kills here. And, okay, so that lurker is sacrificed, so this one can escape. And Wraiths are like, what's going to pop out of these eggs? We can kill those, right? And yes, you could probably kill those drones quite easily, but, you know, the Hydras come down to defend it. Production tab says more and more drones here, trying to get an economic lead. An insurmountable economic lead here on Leta. Is that going to work out for him? Who knows? Queen's Nest coming in, working on additional missile attack upgrades and carapace upgrades. Infantry armor is getting researched now by our guy, Leta. And is he just, he's making a dropship now. I was like, he's making more Wraiths? No. Dropship, I'm still waiting. There we go. Second command center is on the way, so I'm not waiting for it anymore. But, yeah, I mean, once your opponent has 11 Wraiths, invest in Spores, man. Killer does it. It seems like a pretty smart idea. That Taran music just hits the spot, doesn't it? Certainly does. So here we go. We're going to go for a drop, which is an interesting idea. There are Scourge about, there's Hydras about, and there's Spores about, and it just seems like a pretty scary thing, but I guess escorting this drop with our Wraith Ball. Look at these guys go. No upgrades on those dudes at all. Ah, sniping. I think he just sniped a Kakaru there is what that was. So Lurker, oh yeah, Lurker Hydra on the defense here really should be able to handle this. Especially with the Lurker Spines. Yeah, okay. A couple Hydras go down, but the Lurker Spine killing is really good stuff. These Marines do get behind the mineral line. And eventually they will get picked out, but super annoying. Wraiths hunting Overlords. Got one. And then should be able to turn around and kill those Scourge, but Scourge, there's another one there, and taking a hit is so damaging. So destructive. But second base is landed and saturated now with a nice little manor transfer there from Leta. 39 to 34 workers in favor of the Taran player. I'm not sure they got enough damage with the opening Wraiths to really feel great about it, but he has moves quite nicely into SK Taran style, with Siege Mode coming in with a ton of barracks being produced. And everything is A-okay here on the follow-up from Leta. So 12 minutes into this game, it's kind of like, well, it was okay from everybody. Not going to complain about it. I think Killer's happy about his spot. I think Leta is happy about his spot right now. Defiler Mound on the way. Dark Swarm really makes Wraiths useless. That's one of the reasons we don't see Wraiths usually in this matchup, is that Dark Swarm is the ultimate answer to these Wraiths. I mean, same thing for battle cruisers and everything that flies. Especially. So, unloading, not inside this third base here, but just outside. I'm going to try to bust up this ramp from the outside. There's a couple Hydras here, but they go down pretty quickly. It's a turn a couple of them into eggs. Nidus Canal is available, but drone evacuation happening. Nidus Canal gets burned down and focused down. Third, this is a beautiful attack from Leta. Everybody's out of position. These Scourge are getting wiped out. Ton of Hydra Lurker coming up. Trying to save this hatch. The drones did get saved as they were treated for the most part. A lot of these Wraiths are fighting, but then Overlords go. They come in. That Wraith Ball is knocked down to 5 now from 11. These Marines die. Got 3 or 2 kills there. Another Wraith goes down. I think that was the sound of that. And yes, the attack is defended successfully there. Some drones going back to continue harvesting at this third base. 43 to 35 workers, though, and I think Killer's done a great job with his macros so far in the face of some drone losses. Consume's getting researched, going for melee attack upgrades. Now that the Hydras have +2, we'll share some attack upgrades with the Lings, which don't exist yet, but I mean, you don't get melee attack upgrades if you're not planning on making Lings or Ultras or something at some point. And you know, against SK Taran, it's going to be pretty good to have some Ultralisks running around. Oh yeah, Adrenal coming in too. Adrenal Lings, Dark Swarm, everybody knows how this works, right? Adrenal Lings and Dark Swarm kills everything here. The Wraiths can't do anything about it. The Marines can't do anything about it either. The tanks with their splash damage, they've got some ability to make that work for them. Another scan coming in. He scans forward, and he sees, okay, little ball of Hydras on this high ground. We can handle that. That's not a concern at all. And immediately Plague's getting researched after Consume is done. So this game has totally changed, as it always does when Dark Swarm is available, and it's available right now. Ling comes in to sacrifice, get that information, get that intel that the Taran gets with it's just a scan, right? So he sees Defiler, he sees, oh, it's a dead Science Vessel, though. Gets a nice Irradiate out. Dark Swarm up. Marines trying to fight, but once the Dark Swarms come up, they got to run for it, actually unburrowing the tanks because the Lurkers are a problem. Defiler dies. That's the sound you're going to hear a lot of today, is Defiler death sounds. Whoa! Drop into the main base. Yep, there's a dropship in the north there. These guys doing all right. 2 kills on that one. 0 kills on that one. Yeah, it's like 3 workers down, maybe 39 to 34 workers now from Killer. But Dark Swarm, again, making it so much harder for the Taran player to do what the Taran player needs to do. We are still producing Science Vessels. Having the 2 ports comes in handy throughout the entire game. Even if you're not making Wraiths anymore, because they're really, you know, with their 0-0 upgrades and... Oh, they get plagued, but they're killing some Overlords. Okay, all right. Overlord's dying. 4th base coming in left side. Left side natural spawn location for Killer. 106 to 88 supply, though, and this is a lot. Okay, there we go. Defiler's a little bit exposed. They're going to kill a lot of Marines for sure, but with the Dark Swarm, that's when they're really untouchable. Working on additional barracks. 3rd base coming into this minerals-only base high location, high ground location there. Bottom left scouted. Oh, he canceled this. Just, you know, a little group of 4 Marines forced to cancel on this 4th base. Okay, Leta. All right. I like what you're doing here today. This is pretty fantastic stuff. Again, dealing with Dark Swarm is going to be an absolute pain in the butt. A lot of Hydras out. They got the 2-2 upgrades here. Ling's in the mix with the Adrenal and the +1 attack and +2 armor. And, yeah, these Marines are dead. I mean, they're going to fight. They know what a Zerg Swarm looks like, and it was bearing down on them fast. Rest in peace. Marines, 4th base. Still not happening here from Killer, and a little bit worried about that as a Zerg player. I don't know, just running into this group of tanks. We've got, you know, armor upgrade and stuff. Could take a couple tank shots without dying. Maybe just 1, but still, that counts for something. Working on Metasynaptic Node here. Marines and tanks just being produced by Leta over and over and over and over. Nice okay, irradiating Hydras. They're killing their own buddies. Oh, they have to... Oh, we actually misclicked there a little bit. Injured one of his own Hydras. That wasn't irradiated. Oh, no. That's not what you want to see there at all if you're a Hydralist, because your friends turn on you and you're not even sick. But I guess that happens. So trying to just use these Hydras to the best of their ability. Dark Swarm, again, helps a lot in that situation. We've seen players try to go Hydra against this Marine Science Vessel play, and it sometimes works, and I feel like most of the time it doesn't. This 4th base is just not happening. That's a cancel there. 4th base is up high ground, minerals only, but the Zerg player really wants the gas. If he's going to go for Ultras, if he's going to continue making Lurkers and Defilers, he needs the gas. Oh, is that a supply block on Killer? No, not quite. 101 to 109 supply here. 123 total supply for Leta, though. Is this group stuck up here? I don't know if they want to come back down into this Dark Swarm Lurker hellscape. So what are they going to do? They're just going to hold position. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes Terrans just hold position there. Drop. Scourge. Not connecting, but they do scout this drop. Reinforcing Lings are kind of ready to go. It's not a huge drop, but yeah, these Lings have Adrenal. Oh my gosh, they're good. They're good. +1 attack at Adrenal is just... What are the upgrades here for Leta? +2 attack and +1 himself with Stim, with the range upgrade, right? But man, Adrenal Lings just really up the ante there. Oh, disgusting Plague! Holding court. Hydra's in the mix. Pulling back once the Dark Swarm is announced. Yeah, this group is dead. They're plagued. The medics can't heal fast enough to get through that, and bam, every Marine is dead. The medics die simultaneously. Well, this one died a little bit first, as it's sinking into the ground a little bit before its companion, and goodbye. Goodbye, medics. All right, 116 to 97 total supply here. 4th base, well, 5th base, I guess now, left side natural bottom, is being attempted here from Killer, going for +2 melee or +3 now. Oh, I just selected a guy who got consumed. Going for +3, man. So these are looking to be fully upgraded cracklings. Killer is doing what he needs to do to win this game. He's getting the upgrades. He's getting the tech. He's trying to deal with the radiate as well as he can. I mean, these lurkers are just largely dead. Firebats, oh, dying to lurkers there too. Firebat's good for Dark Swarm Ling situations. Not so great against lurkers in the open field, though. Yeah, so the radiates are sick. This one lurker is harassing the command center by himself with +3 attack. The upgrades today from Killer have been absolutely insane. Killer good. Like I said, Ultralisk Cavern on the way. More Science Vessels. Further infantry weapon upgrades as +2 is done for the Marines and the Fire Bats. You're probably not going to see any ghosts today. I don't know. Some nukes would be fun. They're not unheard of in TVZ, and this game's not over. You could still see some fun stuff, yeah? Yeah. Hydra's fighting Marines. Great plague inside the Dark Swarm. Hydra's fighting Marines inside Dark Swarm is just like an unstoppable object versus a movable... Wait, unstoppable force versus a movable object, right? It's another group of Marines down here. Where do these guys keep coming from? Coming out of the woodwork like La Cucaracha, the roaches that they are. Once again, that Hydra just got killed by a siege tank when it was fully inside Dark Swarm. The rules on Dark Swarm sometimes, man. What's the splash damage? The splash damage on itself, maybe? I don't know. Oh, it is more drops. Okay, so it's more drops here. Trying to split against these lurkers, and he does fairly well, but not super great. Okay. Fair, fair. But Drone's dead. 44 to 42 workers now. Maybe another attempt to expand up to the 12 o'clock base here by Leta, but there's a Zergling, and I think it's been jumping on this command center for just a little bit, right? Science vessel count is nuts. That is 9 science vessels into the sky. Scourge count isn't really super crazy good. I mean, dealing with this is going to be hard. The Hydralisk count keeps getting whittled down and not really replaced. As, oh, snipe on that Defiler. It's like, well, I can't really get any value out of you. Sorry. Not happening. Kindness plating on the way. And kindness plating is sort of the answer to this whole thing. Right? Firebats and Marines against kindness plating Ultras, not going to happen. Hydras, though, yeah. Marines and Firebats can handle those just fine. Thanks. Not really in the free up supply situation right now as Killer, as he's got 113 total supply of 158 available. Taking a 5th base bottom left spawn location, and that 12 o'clock is happening nicely now for Leta. So science vessel count way too heavy. Where are the Scourge? He needs to start picking these guys off. Great positioning, though. The Hydras can't reach them up there. They're just like, sure, we'll irradiate individual lurkers, obviously. Individual Hydras, why not? We'll make this attack for us go as smooth and simple as possible. Is he dropping? Killer dropping. Killer going for a big old crackling drop inside the main base. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely maddening. Plague goes down here. Their ultras come out. They're fighting against these Firebats Marines. Rah, 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 rah. And Boxer maneuvering his way to wherever he can go. There is a spore here, but my gosh, the drone massacre is so strong. The cracklings inside the main base are causing all sorts of problems, taking down an engineering bay that was probably working on an upgrade there. And the Marines do manage to hold the fort. They've got +3 attacks, so that attack wasn't canceled. This bottom left base doesn't die. Okay, so no bases died here for the Zerg, but he is down to 36 drones now. Several workers died in there. Ultras don't have anabolic synthesis yet. It's getting researched, but they've got the armor upgrade. 6 armor is so much to deal with if you're Marine. Doing, 9 total armor. Like 3 damage per shot is not really going to work out. But the irradiate on these Ultras, weakening them to just allow the Taran ingenuity and the Taran firepower to take them down a little bit more easily. As there are Firebats and Marines. And the repair is clutch from Leta. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. More scans coming out in the front lines to see if there are more Ultras coming out. There's random Defilers here, too. Oh, I was trying to be with this group. So he plagues a Science Vessel. Says that's probably a job well done. This Defiler gets a nice Dark Swarm up before it expires. Ooh, double Dark Swarm up. Very nice indeed. So definitely players are taking some serious hits. This drop was nice. from Killer. Killed an engineering bay, killed some supply depots. Really did kind of force Leta to respond to it, which is not something you want to do. You never want to send your army back home to deal with a drop. That is something that nobody's interested in. Pretty frustrating stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is just, it's siege tanks. They don't have any upgrades. All the upgrades are going here to the Marines, which have a 3-2. The Hydras that we mentioned before have 3-3, and that's fully upgraded Ultralisks and Lings here. So 25 minutes, the upgrades are looking hot for Killer, and he's got all the pieces he needs. The question is, how good are the Irradiates? How good is Killer at wiping out the Science Vessels? And because if he does that, then it's a lot harder for the Science Vessels to wipe out his Defilers, which is how he's going to win this game. Spellcasters, ahoy, man. Nice Plague up there, too. Fire Bats inside bunkers trying to fight. Everybody's irradiated. Ultralisks in the mix, trying to pull back into the Dark Swarm, but they're irradiated, so they're not exactly safe in there either. This SCV, did this SCV get killed? No. The Irradiate killed that Ultralisk. This is absolutely bonkers. This one Hydra is just trying to pick off SCVs. It's got its 13 damage per attack here. Not doing too shabby at all. And yeah, just kind of hanging out. I mean, that SCV is invulnerable. Not for long, it's not, though. But this base is just kind of being abandoned. I don't know why. Those SCVs completely retreating from the position. There are literally 3 Hydralisks in here. Weird thing, but oh, that's a sick Plague. Run! There's Dark Swarm Plague Ultras. Oh, he plagued his own Ultralisk. That's not going to go well for that guy, Ulysses the Ultralisk. Defiler's getting killed by tanks from long range. Beautiful stuff there, too. And yeah, he's holding. That's a double Dark Swarm. No big deal. We got enough siege tanks to handle it. Thank you for asking. More tanks in production. 7 Marines at a time. Okay, 3 Science Vessels down because they've been plagued and because this Hydralisk was in the right place at the right time. These Hydras are still being allowed to absolutely menace these poor SCVs. My gosh, why is he not dealing with this? Leta! Leta, friend! He's making more and more Marines here, just kind of falling back to this 3-base setup. He really needs a 4th base here at some point if he's going to win this game. I cannot believe he's allowing these Hydras to hold out there for so long. He's just getting upgrades. He's working on more Marine production here. He's, you know, he's stimming around, but he's like, I don't know that he feels like he can leave. He's pretty sparse on defense here. Yeah, there's a bunch of siege tanks, but the Marine backup for them is not super hot. And if a drop comes in here, then these tanks are in a lot of trouble and they're sieged up. So I don't know. Leta expanding again. He's over here at the 3 o'clock position. It's 146 to 122 supply for the Zerg player, which does not bode well ever for a Taran when those are the numbers we're looking at 27 minutes. He abandons the 3rd base to try to position a way to head down to the south, and by golly, the Zerg player shows up, forces a lift off of that 3rd base. SCV's dying, Irradiate's coming in hot and heavy. Once again, not as many available here for Science Vessels, but a lot, and a lot of them are also totally plagued. Absolutely horrendous stuff here. But SCV's coming into an active war zone. Leta says, screw that. Let's go try to kill this guy. We got a lot of Marines. We got a lot of siege tanks. If his Ultras are up north, let's go to the south. They do wipe out this high ground base. I think it was officially a 4th here for Killer. Ultras coming in 1 or 2 at a time is not what Killer wants. What is in these eggs? Zerglings, not really concerned. Probably a cancel there on those eggs. This SCV keeping track of where these Lings and Ultras are. This 3rd base, again, under a lot of stress. But, I mean, this has just got to be another ginormous drop into the left side. Ultra does die. Nidus Canal sniped. Leta! Leta's trying to do this thing. He's down 138 to 100 supply, but a lot of that is SCVs. Here come the tanks. Unsieged siege tanks. Defensive Matrix trying to hold it. I don't know. There's too many fully upgraded Ultralisks here. The tanks are all dead. The Marines and the medics are all dead, and I think that's it. Down to 51 supply there is Leta, and Killer comes back around. Science Vessel's just getting picked off, stunned at that loss, and that is a win for Killer. GG says Leta, and Killer is your winner in 29 minutes and 29 seconds. Nice symmetry there. Woo. Woo! That was quite a knockdown. Drag him out, ZVT, man. 30 minutes of ZVT action, opening with a 2-port Wraith build. 11 Wraiths were built, but I don't think they did too much damage to Killer. Not enough to get the win, anyway. Man, upgrades here for Killer were on point. 3-3 for Zerglings. We've got Chitinous Plating and Anabolic Synthesis for the Ultralisks. 3-3 for the Hydralisks. And the Lurkers. And no air upgrades. No armor. No armor for the Scourge. No armor for the Overlords. But, again, upgrading where it counts. Wow. So getting Plague super fast right after Consume. Nice Dark Swarms. And Leta just kind of fell apart. Just too much invested into the race and not enough return, I feel like. But he made good use of drops, right? Is this the only hatchery he killed today? I'm trying to feel like it is. A lot of drones were massacred here and here and here with the Boxer maneuver. But I think, again, once again, this is the only base that got killed. So in a 30-minute game, if the Zerg kills 2 of your bases and you only kill 1 base of the Zerg, it's going to be a loss. So, hey, Killer, nice win here today. ZVT maybe is a better matchup for you than ZVP. So many Ultralisks. Yo, what the heck is that? Options and mission. Okay, there we go. 199,000 points from Killer, 169 from Leta. We outproduced the Taran player by about a 2-to-1 ratio and got outkilled by significantly less than that. So well done. Structures raised, 13 by Killer, 6 by Leta. And look at that resources spent tab. 61,000 spent for Killer and 42,000 spent for Leta in 30 minutes. That's going to do. That allows you so many more Ultras and so many more Lings and Lurkers and Defilers and everything that you need. And Killer took full advantage there. So well done by Killer. I feel like he knew what Leta was trying to do. It took advantage and just kind of crushed him. I mean, it took 30 minutes. It's not like this was a quick 10-minute game, but yeah, great job opening Hydras to deal with the Wraiths and then just moving into Hydra Lurker, Ling, Ultra, Defiler. That Science Vessel count was really heavy for Leta for a while, but then they kept getting plagued. There were enough Hydras running around that it was going to be tough for the Science Vessels to survive, right? Pretty sure that's what happened. So, well done. That's a GG from Killer, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.